handle yourself well, you could make for a decent shield. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Fight with us and you'll have stories to tell. Come up to Jorvaskar, if you're worth anything in a fight. The Circle are the ones who parcel out the jobs. That's Ayla, Skyre, and the brothers, Farkas and Vilkas. Kodlak advises them, but he doesn't really give orders. Are you kidding? I've wanted to be with them since I was a little girl. Haven't you heard the stories of Kodlak and Skyre fighting off the 101 orc berserkers? Skyre says it was more like 40, but he's just being modest. Where else would I want to be but here? Learning from them, fighting at their sides. Only the most famous warrior band in all of Skyrim. Have you been living with the Horkers? When we arrive, blood is spilled and our blades sing to the glories of Ysgramor. This is life, brother. The struggle is what reminds us to draw breath. All right, then.
Yes. An astute question, for we are far from home, and this is a cold, hard land. The wise trader finds the best opportunities, even if he must travel far to find them. Skyrim is a ripe opportunity indeed. The dragons and the war have scared many other traders away, but for those with courage, there is much profit to be made. The Khajiit hail from a distant land called Elsewhere, bordered on the north by Cyrodiil, and the south by the glistening blue waters of the sea. Elsewhere is an arid land of deserts and rocky canyons, where the sun shines warmly, always. They're a city so ancient, the sands have swallowed them whole. But now I will say no more, for I miss my home greatly. Take a look. May your road lead you to warm sand. The longer we travel the roads of Skyrim, the more empty this land seems. What are you doing that for? Need something? Some come to buy, but others come to steal. Khajiit shows no mercy to thieves. I hope that you will count me the size of the
You look strong. Come to Jorvaskar and be a companion. The companions are my family. We fight so that other people don't have to. We bring honor and glory to ourselves and each other. Vilgus and I have been here since we were little whelps. Our father Jurgen raised us here. Even Vigner couldn't remember companions younger than us. Too confusing for me. Empire, Nords, Talos, who cares? Just tell me who needs bludgeoning. All right then.
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride and ask Yorland Greymane to help? If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick and your eyes quicker.
Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
Greymane or Battleborn? Got stones in your ears? I asked what side you're on. Greymane or Battleborn? New in town, huh? Whiterun's got two clans, both old and both respected. Difference is, the Greymanes turned their backs on the Empire, and we Battleborn stayed loyal. So I'll ask again, Greymane or Battleborn? Sooner or later, we all have to choose a side. Long live the Empire.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside. Aye, that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgroof the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him. Thanks. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
You look worse than I feel. Only if I can help it. But damn if I ain't almost sober. Hey, in the Bannered Mare, there's this bottle of Argonian ale. The good stuff. Get it for me. They won't even know it's gone. Come on. Then we got nothing more to talk about. Sure, whatever.
Hello, friend. In the market for some hunting supplies? Yes, I hear that question often. My brother Honorius and I came up with it one night after consuming rather too much mead. After our drinks, we went out for a moonlight hunt. We got separated, and in his drunken state, my brother mistook me for a deer. He shot an arrow that pierced my, well, rump. After such a memorable adventure, we knew we had the name for our shop. Try Hulda, the innkeeper at the Bannered Mare. It's just up the road near the market. You should check in at Dragon's Reach too. There's so much going on these days. The Jarl or his steward might have need of help. Take a look. Thank you very much for your business.
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I'll make great art for you. I am an artisan, painting in strokes of blood red upon the canvas of life. But yes, I will take coin to fight at your side. After all, where is the value in creating art if there is nobody left alive to see it? You have chosen wisely. Lead on, and I shall follow. Lead on, then.
Another quiet day. I hope. I work for Bellathor, the general goods store.
You look worse than I feel.
Need a blade?
Well met, traveler. What brings you to Whiterun? Ah, so it's gold you're after then. You need only ask about it. Plenty of folk in Whiterun with too much fat and gold to be bothered doing anything for themselves. Ain't sure if they're taking on new members, but you should talk to the companions. They're over in their hall, your Basker. If by work, you mean testing your steel in bloody battle. May your sword be sharp, and your tongue sharper.
Let me know if you see anything you like. Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second. Interesting, to say the least. What with all that's been going on. On the one hand, supplies are harder to come by since fewer traders are traveling the roads these days. But on the other, the scarcity of supplies has led to some, well, elevated prices. All that matters is that I have what you need, and it's worth every septum. Isn't it obvious? Why, the wonderful weather and hospitable people, of course. Not to mention my great fondness for dragons and petty political power struggles. But without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this frozen wasteland is the volley of inane questions leveled at me on a regular basis. Do come back. You know nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing. And what of my son? What of Thorold? Is he nothing? So don't talk to me about suffering.
Your son chose his side and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept his loss, the better.
I will never accept his death. My son still lives. I feel it in my heart. So tell me, Battleborns, where is he? Where are you holding my Thorold?
Do you believe this old... Why, I've got him in my cellar. He's my prisoner. Face it, Pop. Your stupid son is dead. He died a storm-cloaked traitor. And you best keep your mouth shut before you suffer the same.
Come on, Father. There's nothing more to be said here.
All I can think about is my son, my Thor. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my son is alive. Those battle-born, they're in with the Imperials. They know it too, and yet they lie to my very face. I just know it. I can feel it in my heart. You have to believe me. Please visit me at my home. I can tell you the whole story.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda. Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? About the same as everyone else? They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. The way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Reputation, mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoiled the bunch. You know how it is. Farewell.
I'm not afraid of anything. I simply prefer quality merchandise. No, this meat won't do at all. Too much fat. It smells wrong.
Suit yourself, then. The woods are that outside the walls. Walk straight ahead. Can't miss them. Good luck on your hunt.
Good day. Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you do.
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds. Oh yes, hunting is my great passion. That's why my brother and I opened a shop to sell hunting supplies. It's the Drunken Huntsman down by the main gate. He tends the store, and I've got this stall. Good hunting. The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
You look tired, friend. The bannered mare has legs for it.
It's a shame, isn't it? Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvestings. Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. This is the Gildergreen. It was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kynareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. They built the temple. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. A big dead tree isn't very inspiring if you're coming to worship the divine of wind and rains. Kynareth gives life, and we need a living tree to be her symbol. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Elderglee, you couldn't tap it, not with any normal metal. Eldergleam is older than metal, from a time before men or elves. To even affect it, you have to tap into the old magic. You'll have to deal with the Ravens. I've heard about a weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. Kinnaret's winds will guide your path. It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
I work with my mother, sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most hard work.
You might be sick.
Businesses, your children, your very lives. And what does the Empire do? Nothing! Nay, worse than nothing. The Imperial machine enforces the will of the Thalmor against its own people. So rise up, children of the Empire. Rise up, Stormcloaks. Embrace the word of mighty Talos, he who is both man and divine. Trust in me, Whiterun. Trust in Heisted, for I am the chosen of Talos. I alone have been anointed by the Night to spread his holy word. Talos the mighty, Talos the unerring, Talos, the unassailable! To you we give praise! We are but man, writhing in the filth of our own corruption, while you have ascended from the dung of mortality, and now walk among the stars! But you were once that man, and as man who said, let me show you the power of Talos, Storm Cloud, Storm of the North, where my breath is long winter. I breathe now in royalty and reshape this land which is mine. I do this for you, Red Legion, for I love you. I love you. In each of us, the future of Skyrim, the future of Tamriel.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruuf is not receiving visitors. Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? Really? You're certainly forthright about your criminal past. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute, especially now. What I want to know is, what exactly happened at Helgen?
My lord,
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors. Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Ismir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Caravans? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that
The Jarl
dragon is
of
lurking in the
will
mountains.
view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. Ah! The Dragon Stone of Bleak Falls Barrow. You already found it. You are cut from a different cloth than the usual brutes the Jarl foists on me. You'll have to see the Jarl about that. Maybe his steward Avenici. I'm sure one of them will pay you appropriately.
Farengar, you need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby. You should come too.
A dragon? How exciting. Where was it seen? What was it doing?
I'd take this a bit more seriously if I were you. If a dragon decides to attack Whiterun, I don't know if we can stop it. Let's go.
So, Irileth tells me you came from the Western Watchtower?
Yes, my lord.
Tell him what you told me about the dragon.
Oh, that's right. The sword coming from the south. It was false. Faster than anything I've ever seen.
What did it do? Is it attacking the Watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would come after me, for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. You've earned it. Irileth, you'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good. Don't fail me. There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the Dragon Stone for Farengar. As a token of my esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal armory. Help Irileth kill this dragon before it can attack Whiterun. No. I can't afford to risk both of you. I need you here working on ways to defend the city against these dragons.
So I practice with my fists.
As you command.
One last thing, Irileth. This isn't a death or glory mission. I need to know what we're dealing with.
Don't worry, my lord. I'm the very soul of caution.
All this standing around is rubbish. We should be taking the fight to the Stormclaws.
Here's the situation. A dragon is attacking the Western Watchtower.
A dragon? We're in for it.
You heard right. I said a dragon. I don't much care where it came from or who sent it. What I do know is that it's made the mistake of attacking Whiterun.
But Houseguard, how can we fight a dragon?
That's a fair question. None of us have ever seen a dragon before, or expected to.
If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's Cauldron.
Right. Even if we fail, this dragon is threatening our homes, our families. Could you call yourselves Nords if you ran from this monster? Are you going to let me face this thing alone?
No, Houseguard.
But it's more than our honor at stake here. Think of it. The first dragon seen in Skyrim since the last age. Killing it is ours, if you're with me. Now what do you say? Shall we go kill us a dragon?
Yeah,
damn right. Let's move out.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, even if you are my elder.